Guys, welcome back to another video here at this new house. It's closing at the end of this month. I talked to the sales rep. There's some shocking updates focused on profitability and something that's very surprising as well. And I got my latte, finished drinking it. I'm gonna hop into the car and tell you what I learned, which is pretty shocking, all right? So guys, this store used to have 13 sales reps, now it only has 4 cost optimizations, and it's closing at the end of this month because the rent is simply too high. And I've learned this shocking truth, and it's the fact that right now NIO as a company, all right, you have NIO Inc. and then you have the city company, so it's like NIO Beijing basically. And basically every single store has to be profitable by itself. And that's the focus. And if a store can't be profitable when you will subtract the rent, subtract the all these other fees, personnel costs, etc., then they're gonna cut it down. And this store, like not just like on the storefront, also in the headquarters. So one thing that was very shocking, this screen, which is supposed to show the battery swap stuff, the amount of battery swap stations, all that kind of stuff, there's a person responsible for that. He's been cut. So now, like, the sales rep don't know how to operate the screen to showcase the swap stations, and it's just displaying this kind of error message, which is kind of like crazy, right? And right now they just have this picture as a background. It's a screensaver essentially. They've been cut. The cleaning lady has been cut. Yeah, there's people responsible for charging the test drive cars. They have been cut. Like, all these guys have been cut. Not just the sales reps, but like a lot of people. Cost optimization. The Envel store nearby, also rent too high. You know, not sustainable. They closed down that store over there as well. Very shocking. And what I learned is that these stores, they have to be self-sustainable, right? But then the ones like the first NIO house, the one in Dongfang Square, which is like very close to Tiananmen Square, and that has basically 2 floors, the most expensive NIO house, the sales rep told me it's like something like 5,000,000 万, which is like 50 million RMB in rent per year. Like, that's pretty crazy. That's a lot of money for the rent. And if you want it to be self-sustainable, you need 200 sales reps there, and each one of them has to sell 4 cars a month. Like, that's just not possible. So what happens there is that the HQ NIO puts out half the monthly rent to 25 million, and then NIO Beijing puts up the other half, another 25 million, to make that monthly rent. So they're able to keep that store open. But then if you're speaking in terms of, if you're laser focused on profitability, they got to cut that store down as well, because that is very expensive in terms of rent. So they are focused on profitability. This store, end of this month, closing down. But then there's also lots of changes. Like, so before we talk about how it's going in terms of selling the car, I got some like interesting news on that. There's some cannibalization, unavoidable. He told me, yeah, a lot of people coming into the stores for the Envel L90. Like, do you have the Envel L90 here? And this is a NIO store, NIO house. And of course they don't. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But some of the good news is, like, for example, in Beijing, the delivery center, they cannot meet the capacity. There's so many orders and cars to be delivered that the Beijing delivery center simply cannot meet capacity. What they have to do is they have to divert the cars to another city, and then like 1 day or 2 days before deliveries, then they ship the car from Tianjin to Beijing for deliveries. It's kind of like they can't keep up with capacity, and they're moving the delivery center to like another delivery center to a new place here in Beijing, in Chongping area. And what's really cool is that this new delivery center, okay, it's sort of supported by the municipal government in Beijing. So like they're giving the like subsidies for them to build that huge massive delivery center, and also they get to like build a store there, and also that store, you know, you get several years of rent for free. And this is something that the sales rep told me, like a lot of these stores the rent is simply too expensive, and then but like that kind of stuff, like you get free rent, oh my god, they're all in for that. So they really take advantage of that. So that is very, very interesting. So like that's why I didn't title this video like it's not bad news. It's shocking news. It's good news in terms of profitability, but they are sort of amputating too much, I think, right? They're amputating a lot. They're cutting off a lot of stuff. And even the sales rep said, you know, you cut any more, that's going to be like cutting the main artery, right? So that is pretty shocking. And he said, like, right now, it's basically like 全员销售, which is what he said, which is basically like everybody's focused on sales. The general manager of Beijing focuses on sales. The store managers have to focus on sales. Everybody is focused on sales. Like everybody can sell cars, basically, in that essence. And when it comes to cannibalization, yes, there is quite a lot of people that have moved on from the ES6 to the Envoy L90. It's unavoidable. That car is just has too much bang for the buck, basically. And he said people do compare, you know, the ES6 with the Envoy L90, and it's unavoidable, essentially. But he said that in that essence, there is a lot of you know, people like walking traffic in that sense. In my next video, I'll talk more about like some of the marketing problems that they're facing right now, which I think is quite interesting from a sales rep's perspective, in a future video for sure. But in this video, we're just going to focus on the cost optimization that they're doing. They're just laser focused on profitability. And I asked them, can they achieve profitability in Q4? He said pretty much he's pretty sure that they can, because at the current pace of things, you're still selling quite a lot of cars. You keep this volume or even increase your sales volume, but then you're cutting off all these expenses. And a lot of these stores, it's basically rent's too high, they're going to close it down. In Beijing, they're closing 8 stores. 8 effing stores. Holy crap. And yeah, that is some crazy cost optimization right there. 8 NIO stores, all closing down. And I asked them, what about the sales rep? What are you guys going to do? Like, well, it's basically you get moved to a different store, right? You just go to a different store. The NIO manager here that used to be here, that I used to know, he got demoted because he couldn't meet the target. And he's sort of like a focused more on, he's not directly a sales rep, but he's more of like a leader, a sales rep leader. So that's kind of unfortunate as well, but that's just the way of things. NIO is mercilessly cutting everything. Even the damn like cleaning lady here, bye-bye. Stop working with them. Save on cost. The TV, the guy who's supposed to be like responsible for the TVs, bye-bye. Gone. Yeah. Ruthless job cuts, all for the focus of profitability, which I think, you know, could be good, could be bad. But what do you guys think? I mean, I think it's, I mean, when I see that coming into a store, it's like, what's going on here, man? But at the same time, you know, I understand. This is some of the necessary stuff that you got to do. You got to cut down on some of the excess to achieve profitability. But is it too much? Is it too much? Yeah. What's your opinion about this? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.